First and foremost, I want to give all of the praises and the glory to the Most High and His Son, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakak Wadash, and double honors to the elder apostles of the great millstone that have taught us this truth, and to include the elder bishops on down. And Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai Brakatham, to all of you brothers out there of the hopeful elect, as we believe that we are. And it's your brother Laban. And this is an article which was written by Johann Noberg. I believe he's a so-called J. And he compares Rome or America to Rome in this article, and how typically empires last for 250 years, which we spoke about this before, but this came back on my feed on the net. So why not go into it and speak on it? Especially nowadays, it's very well showing that where Rome went is where America's going with things. It's no different, and this just goes to show you that Rome has come back as the Bible prophesied in the book of Revelations, the 13th chapter. Okay, we're in the last leg of the Roman system, as Daniel put it, because you have what was known as the foot of iron, if I'm correct. You had the leg part of the statue, which was iron, and then you had the 10 toes. So the 10 toes is where we're at right now. So this is the last part of Rome, which is ruling in its little season. All right. And America's been that influence all around the planet Earth within this Roman system, which is all to be in conjunction the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, which came together in 49. And now we're seeing the end of their hegemony, which that's also prophetic in itself. Revelations, the 17th chapter, goes into that. And so here we have it. All right, we're seeing the divisions among the American people and even the people down here in Europe. You know, so it's all coming to a closure. This system is coming to its end, as well as it did before. The ancient empire of Rome. So let's get into it. Is it America's fate to decline and fall? Here's what history says. The American experiment will soon turn 250 in its time running, and is its time running out. Johann Noberg is a senior fellow at the Cato Institute and the author of Peace Human, What We Can Learn from the Rise and Fall of the Golden Ages. According to a much discussed TikTok trend of a couple of years ago, men think about the Roman Empire every day. One reason might be that the fall of Rome is a memento mori, a reminder that we too are mortal, no matter how safe, rich, and powerful the U.S. seems. And most likely, it ain't usually Jake thinking about Rome, is it? It's usually these Edomites. And I'm not saying that there's no Jakes that don't think about Rome. I mean, yeah, you got historians that, that are Jakes here and there, and they don't think about Rome. But I'm speaking about the average Jake. The average Jake don't speak about the ancient Roman Empire. So for the most part, the people that would be thinking about Rome would be these Edomites. All right, because they know bits and pieces of the history, and they know what happened in ancient Rome. And the same thing that's happening in America and in other parts around the world, especially within the West. The Roman Empire did it. All right. The Roman Empire actually went down in that kind of fashion. So the way things are going in America right now, and as well as the West, that's where Rome overall was experiencing its downfall. It might all come tumbling down as things did that day in 476 AD. When the last Western Roman emperor was deposed, the American founders consciously modeled their new nation and much of its architecture in Athens and Rome. Ever since, Americans have periodically feared that we are living in the decline and the fall phase of those empire stories. Now, I want to go back up because what I did is I read over a point that Johann had wrote, and it's the memento mori part, a reminder that we too are mortal. And this reminds me of what was written in the book of Isaiah 31, that as this reads over here, which this would be referring to America today, which are the modern Egyptians right now, right? And I first want to begin by reading the first verse. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots, because they are many, and in horsemen, because they are very strong. But they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord. So yeah, when this society comes crashing apart, soon you're going to see a lot of Jake out here. They're going to be begging for this system to come back. And they're going to be begging for a helping hand. And they damn sure ain't going to be calling on the name of the Lord, because they're not going to know the name of the Lord. So they're going to go for who they know. And that's who they're going to call to their aid. But who they thought was their aid ain't going to be coming to their aid. All right. Verse 2. Yet he also is wise and will bring evil and will not call back his words, but will arise against the house of evildoers and against the help of them that work iniquity. Absolutely. So that includes the Edomites, which are the main evildoers, and also our people too. All right. As this reads, now the Egyptians are men and and here's the point. Now the Egyptians are men and are not the Most High, and their horses flesh and not the spirit. When the Lord shall stretch out his hand, both he that helpeth shall fall, and he that is hoping shall fall down, and they all shall fall together. Right. Kind of reminds me of what's written in the book of Jeremiah 17, where it reads that cursed be the man that trusteth in man. And what you'll find out, like I said, is when this shit starts to really cave in, you're going to see a lot of these jakes that claim to believe in the Most High. They're going to be begging for Esau to make things better again. A lot of these jakes are going to take that implantable device under the hopes that things will get back together. And you got a lot of jakes that know that the mark of the what is the implantable chip, but they're still going to take the chip. Because for one, they don't know the Lord himself. Number two, the spirit of the Lord ain't going to be dealing with them in that time, but rather the spirit of this world. The spirit of the God of this world is going to be with them. All right. So they're going to be calling onto the forces that have upheld this world, the powers that are of this world, to bring them some kind of a helping hand. All right. And that's going to be to their destruction. Because those that are going to, those that look like they're going to help you, they're going to be destroyed as well. They're going to lose their power. All right. So and just to even include as well, and just to say this as well, I mean, of course, that's what's going to be at, because when the powers that be come apart. So now what I want to do is I want to go back and read a little bit more on this as well, because there's another part that I want to read too. So as this reads, one reason might be that the fall of Rome is a memento mori, a reminder that we too are mortal. No matter how safe, rich, and powerful the U.S. seems, it might all come tumbling down, as things did that day in 476 AD when the last Western Roman emperor was deposed. Exactly. And that's when Jake took over. So now when we go here, Psalm 75 and verse 6, for promotion cometh neither from the east nor from the west, nor from the south, but the Most High is the judge. He putteth down one and setteth up another. For in the hand of the Lord there is a cup, and the wine is red. It is full of mixture, and he poureth out of the same. But the dregs thereof, all the wicked of the earth shall wring them out and drink them. But I will declare forever, I will sing praises to the Most High of Jacob. All the horns of the wicked all of the horns of the wicked also will I cut off, but the horns of the righteous shall be exalted, and the horns represents power. So the Lord is going to destroy the power from the wicked and restore us back to safety by giving us the power instead. As I just read in verse 7, once again, but the Most High is the judge. He putteth down one and setteth up another. And that's what's going to happen. All right. So everyone's thinking that the Chinese or the Russians may come into power. But as I'm thinking about a precept in the Apocrypha, right, where it mentions, where it's written that the one who was not thought of have certainly have worn the crown. And that's Jacob. Jacob is going to be the one to wear that crown, beginning with Yahweh Shai. And he's going to put crowns upon the heads of those that believe in him. All right. And we're going to rule the planet Earth in righteousness. That's who's coming to rule next. So now let's go and read this as well to tie this in. Psalm 75 and verse 6, for promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south. The Most High is the judge. He putteth down one and setteth up another. This also reminds me of what is written in the book of Ecclesiasticus chapter 10. Verse 8, for in the hand of the Lord there is a cup, and the wine is red, and it's full of mixture, and he poureth out of the same. But the dregs thereof, all of the wicked of the earth shall wring them out and drink them. It's another interesting article over here from the conversation.com. Trump on a coin when Julius Caesar tried that. The Roman Republic crumbled soon after. A proposed $1 coin featuring U.S. President Donald Trump is causing ructions across the political divide. It's also provoking discussion in the world of ancient Roman numismatics coin studies. The proposed coin depicts Trump in profile on one side, the obverse on the other side, the reverse. The president's raise his fist in defiance, accompanied by the words fight, fight, fight. As you can see there. While only a draft proposal, the coin could be minted in 26. So we're looking at next year to mark 250 years since the U.S. Declaration of Independence. But an old law prohibits the likeness of any living person from being placed upon any of the bonds, security notes, fractional, or postal currency of the U.S., which that's all bullshit, because we've had a lot of former presidents which have been long passed away, which was already on American dollar bill. Just to mention, you want to talk about the Indian killer. What was his name again, man? Andrew Jackson. And many others. No, and can't forget George Washington. More than 2,000 years ago, the depiction of living figures on Roman coins caused similar ructions. It came at a time when the Roman Republic was in trouble. The Republic would crumble altogether soon after, ushering in the long period of Rome being led by emperor kings who saw themselves as almost akin to the Most High, or gods. Perhaps the American republics is at a similar stage, who saw themselves as almost akin to gods, which leads me to reading what? This scripture over here in the book of Daniel, the 4th chapter, right? Because when Belshazzar, when he said what he said about himself, that's when he turned into a beast. Verse 19. Then Daniel, whose name was Belshazzar, was astounded for 1 hour, and his thoughts troubled him. The king spake and said, Belshazzar, let not the dream of the interpretation thereof trouble thee. Belshazzar said, my lord, the dream be to them that hate thee, and the interpretation thereof to thine enemies. The tree that thou sawest which grew and was strong, whose height reached unto heaven, and the sight thereof to all of the earth. And the sight thereof to all of the earth, whose leaves were fair, and the fruit thereof much, as in it was meat for all, under which the beasts of the field dwelt. The beasts of the field dwelt, and upon those branches the fowls of heaven had their habitation. In other words, the other nations. You had other nations that were doing good under this man. And it is thou, O king, that thou art grown and become strong. For thy greatness is grown and reacheth unto heaven, and thy dominion to the end of the earth. And whereas the king saw a watcher and an holy one coming down from heaven, saying, hew the tree down and destroy it, yet leave the stump of the root thereof in the earth, even the band of iron and brass, in the tender grass of the field. And let it be wet with the dew of heaven, and let his portion be with the beasts of the field. And this is literal now. Till 7 times pass over him. And this is the interpretation, O king. And this is the decree of the Most High, which is come upon my lord the king, that they shall drive thee from men, and thy dwelling shall be with the beasts of the field, and they shall make thee to eat grass as oxen, and they shall wet thee with the dew of heaven. And 7 times shall pass over thee, till thou know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and to give it to whomsoever he will. So I didn't even really have this in mind, this precept, with Psalm 75 in verse 6. So this ties in beautifully. And whereas they commanded to leave the stump of the tree roots, thy kingdom shall be sure unto thee, and after that thou shalt have known that the heavens do rule. Here it is. So just like what was written in this article over here, right? In the memento mori, a reminder that we too are mortal, no matter how safe, rich, and powerful the U.S. seems. And the reason why America has been rich and powerful for so many years, for the past, 250 years, is because the Most High made them rich and powerful. So if the Lord had it so, which was his will, then by the same will, all of those riches and the power that which was given in his hand can be taken away from him, and will be taken away from him. All right. And that's the time that we're closing in into. All right. So let me go and read this as well. Luke 14, and now we're going to read verse 11. For whosoever exalteth himself shall be abased, and he that humbleth himself shall be exalted. So Esau is going to get taken down. All right. He's coming out of power now, and we're seeing the prophecy speak. When we go outside, we see the depression on the people. On everything we see that all of these indicators of his end is right around us. And it's very, very clear, cut and dry to see. Okay, if your eyes are open spiritually, you can't miss that. All right. Let me read one last precept since that I said that. We are the children of the day. Ye are all the children of the light. 1 Thessalonians 5 and verse 5. Ye are all the children of the light and the children of the day, and we are not of the night nor of darkness. Therefore let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. Absolutely. So because our eyes are wide open, and because we're wide awake spiritually, we can clearly see that there are a lot of indicators pointing to this world coming down to its end. It's clear. Even the feeling is true. So anyway, that's all I got to say with this over here. I want to give all of the praises and the glory to the Most High and His Son for allowing me to do this lesson. And Lord willing, this lesson would have been edified to you. Lord willing, as I'm going to say again. So as I say, Yahweh Bashmi al-Shai Barakatham, to all of those that are in the ministry who are the elect, 144,000, and also to those that follow, who is to include the 1/3. And it's your brother Laban. Shalom.